Nguzo Saba. The information shared in this video is intended to grow your understanding of the Nguzo Saba, a set of principles rooted in African cultural values and traditions. Awareness and understanding of these and other African-centered philosophies is valuable because it will provide a foundation for building an education system that truly respects and values the cultural history, diversity, and experiences of students of African descent. Throughout this video, you will learn about the Nguzo Saba and its development as a framework to support the preservation and strengthening of African culture. Nguzo Saba comes from the Kiswahili language and means 7 principles. We will explore each of these principles in depth to gain a deeper understanding of their meaning and significance within communities of African descent. Let's start with a bit of background on the development of these principles. In 1966, Dr. Maulana Karenga organized and formalized the Nguzo Saba into a structured framework. These values may be familiar to some, as they are often heard in connection to the cultural celebration, Kwanzaa, which was created to introduce and reinforce these values, which are vital to strengthening family, community, and culture for people of African descent. Kwanzaa emphasizes the importance of shared values and provides an opportunity to reflect on and cultivate them. It's important to note that while Karenga gave the Nguzo Saba its modern form, he did not invent these ideas himself. The principles of unity, self-determination, collective responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith are deeply rooted in enduring African traditions and philosophies. These principles are a guide to connecting with traditional African ways of knowing and being in a way that's easy to understand and apply to daily life. The Nguzo Saba offers a meaningful way for people of African descent to reclaim cultural connections that were violently disrupted through colonialism, enslavement, and oppression, providing a foundation for strengthening identity, community, and collective well-being. The Sankofa symbol, which you will notice in the corner throughout this video, is a symbol that reminds us to retrieve wisdom from the past to build sustainable progress for the future. This symbolizes the very essence of what the Nguzo Saba was designed to achieve. It encourages us to look to the past for wisdom and guidance, using that foundation to drive progress, empowerment, and collective purpose for the present and into the future. These values have existed and been expressed for generations across various African cultures, reflecting a worldview centered on community, empowerment, and shared responsibility. Each principle, you'll notice, has a corresponding symbol, pictured here. These symbols are culturally significant and drawn from various African traditions, including Ndinkra, Kemetic, and other Pan-African sources, reflecting the rich heritage and shared values of people of African descent. The 7 principles and their definitions are listed here. For students of African descent, a strong foundation in these principles can deepen their connection to their ancestry, nurturing identity, cultural affirmation, and a sense of belonging, all of which support their well-being and achievement. As we continue, we will break down and explore some key ideas related to each of these 7 principles. Umoja, the first principle of the Nguzo Saba, means unity. It is a principle rooted in commitment and practice of harmonious togetherness. Its placement as the first principle is intentional. It is the foundation on which all the others rest. Without unity, it becomes difficult to build shared goals, maintain community, or create the conditions for collective success. Umoja teaches that real progress begins with unity, Before we can build, heal, or grow as a people, we must first stand together in shared purpose and mutual respect. It reflects the African-centered belief that community comes before the individual, and that real power and progress come from working together. Much like Ubuntu, the African philosophy which emphasizes the interconnectedness of all people, Umoja teaches that we are stronger and more whole when we act in the spirit of togetherness. Umoja begins the Nguzo Saba, not just in order, but in purpose, grounding all the principles in unity. The second principle, Kujichagulia, means self-determination. It's about understanding and sharing your identity and culture in positive ways. It is a principle focused on strength, resilience, and growth, encouraging people of African descent to define themselves and not be defined by others, highlighting the right and responsibility of people of African descent to live authentically, express their own narratives, and contribute to history in ways that reflect the richness and diversity of their lived experiences. This means being true to yourself, actively shaping your own identity, and making sure that every interaction respects who you are, which strengthens your voice and keeps our rich cultures alive. For people of African descent, whose history and culture were forcibly taken from them, part of the intention behind the Nguzo Saba is providing a framework for reclaiming those values, cultural identities, and fostering self-determination. Ujima. Ujima, the third principle, is about caring for our communities by helping each other solve problems and build a better future together. It teaches young people of African descent that they have the power to make positive differences where they live. Ujima is based on working together, knowing that everyone has something to contribute. It also reminds us that we all have a part to play in supporting one another. A core value held within people of African descent is interconnectedness, a deep understanding that our well-being is connected. When one person is struggling, it affects the whole community. Living out Ujima means showing up for each other, sharing responsibility, and building strong, caring communities together. When any part of our community experiences harm or oppression, it affects us all. Ujima calls on us to come together and build a world where everyone can live free from hurt and harm. Ujamaa. Ujamaa, the fourth principle of the Nguzo Saba, means cooperative economics. It represents a dedication to building a shared and equitable economic foundation that allows all members of the community to thrive. Ujamaa focuses on collective well-being by ensuring that resources and opportunities are shared fairly within the community. It encourages using future opportunities to support projects that sustain and uplift the community and all of its members. In turn, we are called to use the privileges we gain to give back, helping the community grow and thrive. By practicing Ujamaa, we create a positive cycle of support, working toward a strong and successful community where everyone can succeed. Nia. Nia, the fifth principle, means purpose. For people of African descent, this represents a dedication to embracing the shared mission of strengthening our communities through education and action, honoring our roots, and working to restore the greatness of our people through unity, purpose, and care. The principle of Nia encourages us to work together to uplift and restore our community. It's a reminder for people of African descent that true purpose is rooted in serving our community. Nia teaches us that our personal goals and dreams reach their highest potential when they contribute to our collective well-being. Nia is about creating meaningful change that uplifts the whole community, grounded in interdependence, a core aspect of the ways of knowing and being for people of African descent. By aligning our goals with the needs of the community, we foster progress, improve lives, and find a deeper sense of purpose and pride and being part of something greater than ourselves. Kuumba. Kuumba, the sixth principle of the Nguzo Saba, is a commitment to continuous efforts in making our communities more beautiful and beneficial, so that each generation leaves the community better than when inherited. Kuumba highlights the power and prevalence of creativity within people of African descent. Creativity has always been a way to express identity, values, and lived experience. Kuumba encourages us to use our artistic skills to honor our heritage and help restore and uplift our cultural knowledge. More than that, Kuumba fosters unity and shared growth, improving individual lives while building a sense of purpose and fulfillment in the community. This principle is key to preserving our cultural legacy and ensuring that our actions have a lasting, positive impact on future generations. Imani. Imani, the seventh principle, is the belief in ourselves, our community, and our power to create meaningful change. It centers our ongoing journey toward justice, freedom, and well-being, and encourages us to live with self-respect, cultural pride, and a commitment to uplifting each other and future generations. It is a principle rooted in love, trust, and responsibility. It is through faith that we build resilient communities and leave a legacy of strength, wisdom, and a vision for future generations. The Nguzo Saba arose from a need for people of African descent to reclaim and rebuild, to remember who we are, and to affirm that our identity, our culture, and our values were never truly lost. They've always been with us, within our families, our communities, and our traditions. The Nguzo Saba simply helps us name them, live them, and pass them on. These principles reconnect us to who we are and who we've always been: brilliant, creative, resilient, and deeply rooted in community. By embracing these principles, we not only honor our past, but also shape a future where our communities thrive together. The Nguzo Saba helps us promote excellence, deepen pride, identity, and connection, support growth and resilience, and most importantly, they heal and empower us. The Nguzo Saba isn't about remembering the past in isolation. It's about using our history as fuel for future generations. As people of African descent, when we teach, model, and live out these values, we help create schools, families, and communities where our children and youth feel seen, affirmed, and proud of who they are. We carry forward the wisdom of Sankofa, a call to look back, reclaim what was lost, and move forward with intention and strength. The Nguzo Saba offers a way of being that is rooted in heritage, lifted by hope, and guided by collective purpose. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope you found the video both enjoyable and insightful.